pause for a second and really hear this. The financial disaster heading toward America is not going to hit everyone at the same time. It is going to hit your state first, before it becomes a national headline. Before anyone in Washington admits what is happening, it shows up quietly. Rising property taxes, collapsing public pensions, services getting cut while your bills keep climbing. And right now, 5 specific states are sitting on a financial time bomb that is about to go off. The warning signs are already visible if you know where to look. Pension systems sitting 40% underfunded. $1.8 trillion in loans coming due in 2026. Commercial real estate vacancy rates hitting 25% in major cities. This is not 2008. This is 2008 layered on top of conditions not seen since the Great Depression. And the pressure starts at the state level. That is where the math is already completely broken down. I am going to walk you through the 5 states most likely to hit a financial wall first. More importantly, I am going to tell you exactly what to do right now if you live in one of them. Because by the time this becomes obvious to everyone else, your options will already be gone. If you want to know what is coming before it hits your wallet, hit subscribe right now. This channel covers what the mainstream media will not tell you until it is already too late. Number 5, Illinois. Illinois is carrying a pension crisis so large it is almost impossible to comprehend. $317 billion in unfunded pension obligations. That is not a typo. $317 billion. For a state with a GDP of $1 trillion, that means 31% of the entire economic output of Illinois is already promised to pension payments that do not have the money to back them up. The pension system is only 44% funded, meaning for every dollar owed to retired teachers, police officers, and state workers, there is only 44 cents available. The other 56 cents does not exist. And here's what that means for you directly if you live in Illinois. Property taxes in Illinois are already the second highest in America, averaging $4,800 per year. But that number is about to get dramatically worse. When pension obligations consume more and more of the state budget, basic services get cut. Roads, schools, public safety. And to cover the gap, they raise your property taxes. Experts are projecting 25% to 35% property tax increases in Illinois within the next 3 years. One Reddit user from Chicago posted this last month. Got my property tax assessment. Up 31% from last year. My house did not get 31% better. My neighborhood did not get 31% better. Illinois just needs my money to pay for pensions I will never collect. Selling in spring. Picture this. You bought your Chicago home in 2019. You budgeted carefully. Mortgage, insurance, taxes. Everything made sense. Now your property tax bill arrives, and it is $2,400 more than last year for the exact same house. While your neighborhood slowly loses residents who could not afford to stay, Illinois lost 141,000 residents in 2023 alone. Every person who leaves takes their tax dollars with them. But the pension obligations stay forever. Illinois residents, drop your city below right now. What did your last property tax bill look like? I want the real numbers from real people on the ground. Number 4, New Jersey. New Jersey has the highest property taxes in America. $9,284 per year on average. That is $774 every single month. Just in property taxes, before your mortgage, before insurance, before utilities, and it is about to get worse. The pension system is only 41.8% funded. $111 billion in unfunded pension liabilities sitting on a state economy that is already losing people fast. 70,000 residents left New Jersey in 2023 alone. Every departure shrinks the tax base. But the pension obligations tied to former public workers, they stay permanently. The people leave, the debt stays, and the people who remain pay more to cover both. New Jersey's economy depends heavily on Wall Street financial jobs. AI is now eliminating 30 to 40% of those mid-level positions. Fewer jobs means lower income tax revenue. Lower income tax revenue means higher property taxes to compensate. And higher property taxes push more people out. The cycle is already spinning. One New Jersey homeowner wrote on Reddit, "My property tax just crossed $14,000 per year. That is $1,166 per month just in taxes. My mortgage is at $1,800. I am paying almost as much in taxes as I am in mortgage." Officially looking at Tennessee, picture this. You own a nice home in New Jersey. Paid it off. No mortgage anymore. You think you finally own your home free and clear. Then the tax bill arrives. $14,000 per year. $1,166 per month. Forever. You never actually stop paying for the home you already own. If this is information every homeowner in America needs to hear, hit that like button right now. It helps more people find this before it is too late. Number 3, Connecticut. Connecticut is the state nobody is talking about, and that is exactly why it is dangerous. The pension system is funded at just 49%. $35 billion in unfunded pension liabilities for one of the smallest states in America. Connecticut has a GDP of only $300 billion. That means pension obligations represent over 11% of the entire state economy. And Connecticut residents are already paying a brutal price. State income tax up to 6.99%. Property taxes averaging $6,200 per year. Combined state and local tax burden, third highest in America. And population is shrinking fast. Connecticut lost population every single year from 2015 to 2022. The wealthy are leaving for Florida. The middle class is leaving for North Carolina. The young are leaving for anywhere that gives them a chance. What remains is an aging population collecting pensions while a shrinking workforce pays for them. One Connecticut resident posted, "Left Connecticut after 42 years. Could not justify $400 in property taxes on a house worth $380,000 anymore. Now in Tennessee, paying $1,200 per year in property taxes. Feel like I escaped a burning building." Picture this. You have lived in Connecticut your entire life. Your parents lived there. Your kids grew up there. But the math simply stopped working. Your tax bill is now your second largest monthly expense, and every year it goes up, while every year more of your neighbors quietly disappear. California and New York residents, I need to hear from you directly. Are you thinking about leaving? Where are you going? Yes or no below. Best response gets featured in my next video. Number 2, California. California is the most complex financial disaster in American history. On the surface, everything looks fine. 5th largest economy in the world, Silicon Valley, Hollywood, agriculture. But underneath, $1 trillion in total state and local debt. Public pension systems underfunded by $300 billion to $500 billion to $500 billion, depending on which assumptions you use. Commercial real estate in San Francisco collapsing with 36% office vacancy rates. Property values down 41% since 2019 in some areas, and a tax base dangerously concentrated at the very top. The top 1% of Californians pay 40% of all state income taxes. When the stock market drops and tech valuations fall, California's revenue falls off a cliff. That happened in 2001. It happened in 2008. When it happens again, the state faces an immediate $40 to $60 billion budget gap. And who fills that gap? You do, through property tax increases, service cuts, new fees on everything. One California homeowner posted, "Got notice my property assessment went up $180,000 this year. My actual tax bill is now $22,000 annually. I am a teacher. I do not make $22,000 in 4 months." Leaving for Nevada in June. Picture this. You bought your California dream home 15 years ago. You thought you were set. Now your property tax bill arrives, and you realize the dream costs more every year while the state around you slowly stops working. Homeless crisis. Infrastructure crumbling. schools underfunded, all while you pay more than almost anywhere else in America. Number 1, New York. New York is the most exposed state in America, and the reason comes down to one brutal reality. New York City generates 60% of the entire state's tax revenue. If the city stumbles, the state falls with it. And the city is already stumbling badly. Mattered office vacancy rates hit 23% in 2024 and keep climbing. Remote work is permanent. Companies are not coming back. Wall Street firms are eliminating 40% to 50% of white-collar positions through AI automation. These were not low-paying jobs. These were $150,000 to $400,000 per year positions, gone permanently. 550,000 residents left New York State between 2020 and 2024, taking their income taxes with them. New York City carries $200 billion in debt, more than most entire states. The MTA transit system alone holds $50 billion in debt, with ridership still 30% below pre-pandemic levels. And New York already has the second highest tax burden in America. There is almost no room left to raise taxes without accelerating the exodus. But they will try anyway. Wealth taxes, exit taxes, new fees. Because the math demands it. One Manhattan resident posted, left New York after 18 years. My combined city and state income tax was 14.8% on top of federal. My rent was $50,400 per month. I moved to Miami, same salary, no state income tax, saving $3,800 per month. I feel like I was in an abusive relationship. I finally left. Picture this. You work hard in New York. You pay city tax, state tax, federal tax, property tax, and every year the services get worse. The subway breaks down, the streets deteriorate, the schools struggle, and your bill keeps going up, while your neighbor quietly packs up and moves to Florida. What should you actually do? If you live in any of these 5 states, here is your honest action plan. Own property? Appeal your tax assessment immediately. Values are dropping, but assessments are not adjusting fast enough. You could save $2,000 to $5,000 per year in 2 hours of paperwork. Rely on a public pension? Do not assume it is untouchable. Courts have repeatedly reduced benefits during fiscal crises. Plan as if your pension could be cut 30% within 5 years. Diversify your income now. Thinking about leaving? Tennessee, no income tax. Property tax is 60% lower than New York and New Jersey. Florida, no income tax. Growing economy. Texas, no income tax. Lower cost of living. North Carolina, growing fast. Affordable. Good infrastructure. Cannot leave right now? Lock in your current mortgage rate. Build 6 months of emergency savings immediately. Move liquid assets to nationally diversified banks, not state-dependent institutions. The bottom line is painfully simple. These 5 states made promises they cannot keep. To pension holders, to residents, to bondholders, and when the math finally breaks completely, the people who stayed too long will pay the price. The warning signs are already out in the open. The question is whether you are paying attention. Now I want to hear from you. Which state are you in right now? Are you thinking about leaving? Drop your state and your situation in the comments right now. I read every single comment, and if this video just gave you information that could protect your financial future, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because I cover this every single week before it becomes mainstream news. The next video is going to cover exactly which states you should be moving to right now, and you do not want to miss that one. See you in the next one.